What is up, guys? My name is Anime Chair, Anime whatever you want to call it, and enjoy this video because this is a what if that I want to come up with. I checked out the channel and no one made this what if exactly. What if Naruto was trained by the gods of Shinobi? It's gods, not gods of Shinobi. So I'm on YouTube right now. Before I begin the storyline of the what if, when I begin, this will start off the next day, and Naruto become the next god of Shinobi as well. So this story, no one made this. So hope you like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. With this being said, enjoy the video. This story The story was made by me and enjoy. This is what if Naruto was a god or trained by the gods of Shinobi, got trained by the gods of Shinobi. Enjoy the video. A man with white hair, white beard, a ring in his forehead that shows a red Rinnegan. A man who has purple Rinnegans in both eyes. The man who has a staff and floating orbs around him. The man was named after everything, a god of Shinobi, who transferred the chakra into every human being on this earth. The man who created the 9 Biju, who stopped the ten-tailed Jinchuriki from ruining the earth, and who stopped his own parents from reviving a man that's so stronger, for even they cannot survive. Well, the man was floating in air, talking to his Jinchurikis, which they're floating as well. We have the 8, we have the 9, all 9 Bijus. Kurama speaks first. "Old man, if you die, what will happen to us?" Which the man laughed and said, "You will be on the earth, walking above these humans. And please, if I do die, don't kill anyone." He looks at Kurama. "Why did you look at me when I am the strongest? You are the strongest of the 9. But you are ignorant as well, my child." Kurama laughed and said, "Yes, that's true, father. But I am more than ignorant. I protect my family, you and the others. Isn't that right?" They all nodded, loving Kurama's attitude. "But soon I die. My soul will be passed down for someone else." "What do you mean?" "In the near future, a boy will be born. The name of Naruto Uzumaki will live on as a god of Shinobi. He will be the next sage of 6 past. So, Kurama, all 9 Biju, please, you will have to respect the boy of head. Because soon he's born. That's when I give him the power of my soul. But with that being said, I love you all and let's go." They all went off to look around and float above the human realm. It's a demon realm and a human realm, and that is it, because the deaf god. But with that being said, let's get into the birth of Naruto Uzumaki. Well, I will be right back. Let me go get my water because I'm literally tired. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to get my water because I'm literally tired and I don't know what to do. And this is the only thing that's gonna stop me from going to sleep on my desk right now. Excuse me. Let's get back into the story of one god. Uzumaki Naruto, who was born October 10th. On October, Naruto was born. He was one of a prodigy of among them all. Naruto's parents was no other than Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze. A masked man attacks the Leaf Village as in canon. When it happens, the Nine-Tails got controlled. But before he got controlled, he heard the name of Naruto Uzumaki. They're going to be the next sage of Six Past. Kurama smiled, but into his eyes go red and 3 tomos in both of them. Kurama roared in destroying the village and everything like that. Kurama wanted to stop his body from moving because he didn't want to kill the child of hand. He seen Minato using the Reaper Death Seal that was made by the Sage of Six Past. He made a demon realm for only the Death God be in it. No other demons was in there. The Death God was annoyed. Someone summoned him, and he didn't want to be summoned. Until the Death God be summoned, he realized something. The boy ahead of him, when he looks down, he senses a weird aura that was just like who made him, who created the Death God. Father. The Death God muttered out of his breath, "Father, is that you?" The Death God now looks up at the beast of hand. "Brother," he said. But the Nine-Tails didn't respond. The Nine-Tails were going rampages around the village. "Father, is that you and that child?" The Death God tried to react. He wants to see if that is his father. That's who created him. He wants to hug him again. But no answer. He's just a child. Or he's probably the reincarnation. But soon the Death God noticed a man floating above him. And he loved to look and see who it is. Who will float above a Death God? A man who created the Death God as well. The man who was not afraid of the demon of hand. You already know this man. The man of Hagoromo. This when the Death God smiles. "Father, Father. Do your work and use Kurama. Seal him in the child." "But Father, that will Yes, I know. He has a 50-50 chance of living. Having the beast inside of him is not good. But he is Uzumaki, and Uzumaki's blood and genes run through his veins. And don't forget, my child, he is one of us again." "What do you mean again, Father?" "I mean, he will be my reincarnation. I will be training the boy within his mind, making sure the boy gets proper food and training, knowing these two humans is not going to live that long. But I like the enthusiasm in this man. What's his name? Minato Namikaze?" "Yes, Father." This man was gonna love his child very, very much. So, I'll make him a deal. The deaf god seals the Naruto's inside of Naruto. As in canon, a man appeared seeing the two Shinobis that's going to die. But they notice a white glow appear in them. The white glow looks at the two, and they notice a face forming. They were scared, but not afraid. They was afraid and scared. Who was this man upon them? It looks like a deity. A god that can just kill them instantly with just a glare of his single finger. But they were wrong. They were actually absolutely wrong. The man in front of them was no other than Hagoromo Apsuski. The man smiled at the two humans. Hello, Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze. I am Hagoromo, known as the Sage of Six Paths and the God of Shinobi. I will be the successor. Your son will become the next god of Shinobi if he get trained properly. They tried to speak, but he interrupted them. I know you are going to die, but I will give you chances. Not chances to live. Out of my power, I can't do so. Not even the god of death can do so as well. Because that is not my power. I didn't get created by my mother to give people life in this world. I got created to give people chakra so they can live on as normal ninjas. But right here, in the near future, your child will become a monster. Not in a bad way, in a good way. A monster that can never get defeated. But he can die as well by his age. But Uzumaki genes are powerful. They can live upon like 3 years, millennium. They can live on in millennium years for that matter. If you have good genes of the Uzumakis, he can even probably live on older than me, the god says. Hagoromo laughs, and they laugh as well. Knowing they're going to die, they have to enjoy a little joke from the Sage of Six Paths. But Minato spoke before the Hagoromo gets to speak. He says this. What happened to my son? How did you know he's going to be the next Sage of Six Paths? Minato said, spitting out blood. Hagoromo looks at Minato sadly. Because I will be training the boy. No matter what, he would not be an enemy to Konoha Gekir. He will be a savior. The boy would not get respect in this village. I know that. Holding the Jinchuriki, my son, inside of this boy. I am sorry. Can't be. He got controlled by a Sharingan, which who holds that power as well. But right now, the boy will have my strength, my power, and my reality. I will be in his mindscape, training him left and right. Wait till he gets older. Me and the Jinchuriki, or you call Kurama, will be training the boy to depend of my power and my ability. Minato looks at the Sage of Six Paths and laughs. I can't really say this, but please protect my son anyway. I love him. Tell him that. Please don't tell him who his true parents were first, until he get big and strong. Minato's tearing up, his eyes watering, his face was bleeding. He was running out of time. Minato breathed heavily, telling him, with tears in his eyes, "Please protect my child. I love him. I wish I could see him grow up big and strong just like his old man." Minato started tearing up. "I apologize to what I gotta say, but I beg you." Hagoromo stops him. Hagoromo had a few tears in his eyes, seeing how these humans work, how the emotions they spread. Hagoromo laughs, and he chuckles again with tears in his eyes. He didn't like to see people sadden, so he gave them one thing. "My plan will be not for failure. I will do what you ordered, Minato Namikaze. Humans like you I love the most. But people who only send venom and vengeance in this world shall face their fears of death. But this boy, I don't know what come over me, but years ago," this when Minato's eyes was about to close, "the gift god Hagoromo put a little bit of more chakra in Minato, making sure he is alive for one last words." Hagoromo now asks Kushina and Minato, "What's your final words to your child? And this will be the end of you too." In Naruto's Mindscape, Kurama himself was tearing up. He can finally see his father again into his natural glory. And he heard what he said. He will be training the boy to his final extent as well. So, Naruto, but let's go back into what Hagoromo has to say in Minato Namikaze. Well, Minato said a few words, saying to be careful, have great friends, and become the damn greatest Hokage king you ever lived. Hagoromo smiled and remembered that he will become the Hokage and known around the nation as one, the god of Shinobi. Hagoromo chuckled. Minato's eyes started to shut. Kushina said her final words. "Please be careful, brush your teeth and watch up every day. And make sure you take care, Naruto-kun. Make sure you live on and protect the things you love and care for. Like I love my husband. And I love you. I apologize that we couldn't see right now how you're going to grow up as a god of Shinobi." She's starting to tear. "I apologize that we are not going to see you that often. But just know we can look above and beyond. We can see you from the heavens above, Naruto-kun." She tears up more and more. She don't want to let go. She don't want to die in this world. She wants her son. She wants to live. But this one, Hagoromo laughed again. Sorry, water break. This one, her eyes started to shut. "And have great friends that love and care for you, Naruto-kun," she said. She looks at Naruto and said those final words. Her eyes has shut. She has died for chakra exhaustion and release of the Biju. Naruto Uzumaki, Hagoromo now had a great smile. These humans, these two, are not that powerful in chakra-wise, but they will still die for their child. That means this child is literally worthful of grace. Well, Hagoromo went through the mind of Naruto. Hagoromo now said these words, and it blinked out. With this one, the Hokage third Hiruzen Sarutobi appeared and noticed the two Naruto's parents has now passed away for chakra exhaustion and a lose of the Bijus. Or of one Biju, the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox that was sealed inside their child. This one, the third Hokage grabs him, and he was smiling. Not for Minato's death. He was smiling that Kushina has a great cute child that he can protect as well. But at this day forward, the Hokages have Hokage's duties. So he will be taking back the Hokage's role. Since Minato Namikaze is now gone, and he will not be able to see his father again. Hiruzen Sarutobi grabs Naruto and went. We have a week later, the village was getting repaired. The people who lost loved ones was now crying and getting their stuff back up together, up to point. This when the Hokage made a rule that cannot pass down to any civilians or any Jonins. Only some Jonins will be knowing about this rule, and some not. Chunins and Jonins will be learned about Naruto and the council as well. So, he made an announcement. Every council member, he told the Anbu to get every council member here right this instant. This will be a meeting. And get every Jonins and Chunins here as well. Because this will be something that I will be sharing right now at this point in time. The Anbu told the Kage okay while leaving the area. They left the area and the announcement begins. The Hokage now told everyone. The Jonins and Chunins was talking amongst their chillers, asking why the Hokage summoned them here. But they will know very, very soon. Sooner they expected. Quiet, everyone, the Hokage said. Hiruzen now spoke. I'll be taking the role back over Hokage since our yellow flash has now died. But at this point in time, I have a rule that will be spoken by everyone in here. You tell the civilians or outside people that's not a part of the Leaf Village, you will be executed immediately, no questions asked. Everyone nodded because they see the Hokage's face, and it was very serious. The Hokage was holding an infant child that was only 1 year old. The infant child was now sleeping in the Hokage's arms. But the Hokage gave them to one of the Anbus beside him. While the Anbu was holding him, they smiled in the mask. This Anbu was named Anko Madarashi. She hated childs, but she think this one was cute and adorable. She wants to train this boy. She sees the great and potential in this boy child. Now the Hokage spoke again. This boy right here, the infant child, has the Jinchuriki. He is the Nine-Tails Jailer. Everyone was now staring at the boy with devil's intent. That's when the Anbu stared back. You touch him, you die. That's the words came out of the Anbu mouth. The Anbu was serious about this, letting out killer intent. That's when the Hokage put his hand up. She stops. The Hokage looks at everyone and said, I know you're in pain and suffering, that you lost loved ones from the beast of hand. Just realize he's the Jinchuriki. He's the jailer of the Nine-Tails. He is not a beast or the Nine-Tails itself. You can say it's a kunai, but it's in a seal. So this is not just a real deal for any problems. You tell anyone that's not a part of this village or tell these civilians that you will be killed immediately. No questions asked. You sell anything you heard and heard. This meeting will be this one. A man spoken from the elder side. This man was no other than Danzo Shikimura. Really don't know his name. Sorry. Let's get back into this video. Apologies. I really don't know his name. So I'm going to check his name out real quick. But yeah. With this being said, let's get back into the storyline. The man was named Danzo. Asking him, can we use the boy as a weapon for the Leaf Village? He will be a great military instance to our village and to the manpower. The Hokage and the man inside of Naruto's mind was a little bit furious. What he said was wrong and very disrespectful for the fourth Hokage's son. This one, everyone was conducted from this. Yeah, the elders was a little bit upset. Yeah, we can use the child for our own games. We can use him for a military weapon. This one, everyone as the elder side would start speaking. Even Sakura's mother was speaking as well. Was conducting this. This one, the Hokage was furious. Shall not killer intent. Even Jonis was agreeing to this. No. We will not be using this child as a military weapon for the Hidden Leaf. He will grow up to make his own dreams. And that is final. You do anything to this boy, you will be death by the hands of me. Everyone never seen the Hokage this furious before. That means this boy was special. That means his parents was famous around the village. They want to know who is this child's parents. It's when Danzo spoken. Who is the boy's parents? He said. The Hokage can't hide this from the elders, but he can hide it from Jonis and Chunins, because they will probably say something about it. I want you all to leave, not the council. He looked at the other side of him, the ninja council. They got up. Not you as well. You all stay. Jonin, Chunins, please leave the area. Anbu, you stay as well. Everyone left except for the council members. The ninja side and the elder side as well. This when the Hokage spoke. The boy's the boy's parents was no other than Kushina Uzumaki. And this one, he said another name. They were surprised. His father was no other than the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. The elders was conspicuous. They was furious. That demon brat was not the fourth Hokage's child. He's a demon. He only sued. This one Hokage was furious. My rule is adjourned. You say demon one more time, you will be killed. Do you get that? The Hokage was furious, hearing the man's words. I am the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf. You obey my orders. I don't give a fuck if your elders who made the village, who was years ago. I don't care. I am the Hokage, and you will obey my orders. You do not obey, you will be killed or executed, or revoked from being a council member, or you will be leaving like me, leaving the leaf. You will be banished. If I hear another word out of your mouth about demon, Jinchuriki, jailer, Ninetales, you will be banished or killed. Choose your words wisely, elder. The Hokage struck with venom, but inside Naruto's head, the Sage of Six Paths liked the Hokage. Now he thought the Hokage was going to leave Naruto as a hopeless child, and he have to grow on ransom. But that was insecurity. That wasn't true at all. Now the Hokage spoke again. This boy will be in my care. And that, Hokage-sama. This when the elder spoke again. Why are you treating this boy like he's special? The elder said. He has a name. Speak it. Excuse me. Why are you treating Uzumaki Naruto like he's special? I can see his parents was famous. He's not. He's the blood of those two strongest ninjas of the Hidden Leaf. Are you dare disobeying me, elder? The Hokage looks at the elder. The elder shuts up and nods his head no. Alright then. Anyone else wants to say something, speak up please, he said. And calming down, someone spoken up from the ninja side council. They said, what is the boy gonna be trained for a weapon, or he's gonna be trained if he wants to become a ninja? A woman named Sume Inizaka spoken up. She was one of the friends. But let's not get into that. The Hokage smiles. Knowing the ninja's council was not disrespecting Naruto at all costs, or even her. She spoke like she was happy about it. She now said that the boy gonna be trained by you, Hokage-sama. This one, the Hokage spoken with no master reality at all costs. The Hokage said yes. He will be trained soon enough, but someone else will be training him because I have Hokage's duties now and forever. And to the day I die, no one else will be Hokage until I grant my successor, who will be the Hokage early. And this, before I keep going with the storyline, I'm going to get some water. And then, another thing I will be telling y'all once I finish getting my water, another thing I will be telling y'all, Naruto will probably become the successor of the 5th. He will probably become the 5th Hokage soon enough. But that will be unaccessible at this point in time. This is not going to be heard from right now. So, let me go get my water and I will be finished the story. Read vertically. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Had to get some water because my thirst is bit because I'm talking. Sorry, let's get back into the story. Like I said, Naruto was gonna be probably the 5th Hokage at a young age, but I will not do that yet because his birth was the same date, and all that as the birth goes forward, I will not like if you would like him to be Hokage, excuse me, at a young age, I will do so. If you would like him to be Hokage at a young age, come on, you can just say it, and I will probably do so for you all guys. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop talking now and enjoy the video. Naruto, when the Hokage looks and he nods, time skip begins. I rarely do time skips at all. I really rare to do those. I don't know why. I rare to do time skips, but alright, let's get back to this video. Time skip. Oh, 4-year-old boy was now running in the Hokage's mansion, which is Hiruzen's Abitobi's household. He was just running around having fun. But when Hiruzen was gonna walk out the door, but Naruto stopped him. Gigi. The Hokage turns around and smiles. Naruto-kun, yes? He says, can I become Hokage and a ninja just like you, big and strong? The Hokage smiles and said, yes, Naruto-kun. You can become a Hokage if that's your dream. And you can be even better than me at a young age. Naruto smiles. Yay! When do I get trained, Gigi? He says. The Hokage now stops and asks, soon you become a 9-year-old boy or 10 years old. That's when you get trained, okay, Naruto-kun? Naruto smiles and said, yes, Gigi. I want to be this big and strong, just like my Gigi. The Hokage smiles and thinks that was adorable for what he said. Was pretty cute, if you ask me. Naruto now spoke as a child. Alright. I will have a time skip as a 9-year-old boy was in his Mindscape, asking where he's at. Enjoy the video. A 9-year-old boy named Naruto Uzumaki was looking around when he was sleeping. He thought he was sleeping. He thought he went to sleep already, so where is he? Why is he in a sewer? And why is it a big gate around him? That's when the all answers in front of him. He looked at a giant beast and a man in white. Hello, my child. Izuku was... I'm sorry, I did not mean to say Izuku. That came out instantly. Hold up, give me a moment. Sorry for that, you guys. I was just doing some stuff. I'm not gonna be finished with the storyline yet because I want to see what will happen in the story. What it will have. But let's still begin because I have a lot of time and it's almost a summer vacation. Not summer vacation actually, but people was gonna be getting out of school and the 5th. Like I was saying, let's get back into the storyline. Naruto was afraid of the 2 that's in front of him, so he backs back and fell on his butt. But the man in front walks towards Naruto. Don't be afraid of me. The man spoke in a lighter tone, in a voice that calms Naruto's nerves. Naruto's head spins, asking like a bunch of questions. Why? And where is he? And what is that behind you? This when the man calms Naruto down again and tell him, calm down, calm down. Everything will be explained right now. I am the Sage of Six Paths. Did you read about me in books? Naruto nodded because he loved to read. Alright, have you ever heard the god of Shinobis? Yes, Gigi was talking about he was once a god of Shinobi. Yes, he was now once a god of Shinobi. The god of Shinobi becomes the strongest of all villages, okay? Well, you, on the other hand, will be the strongest of them all in the multiverse, in a whole world, if you ask me. So, in this world, I am going to be asking you, would you like to get trained by me? This one, Naruto was confused. What do you mean? Me in the Jinchuriki. Over here, the nine-tailed fox, Kurama. Naruto now was scared. I thought the fourth Hokage killed. You can't kill the Biju. You only can seal him. You only can seal the Biju because the Biju is made out of chakra and can reform. Only a god can kill me. And the Naruto smiles. Naruto was scared out of his mind. That means, yes, the fourth Hokage sealed me inside of you. Only one thing. Do not get mad of the fourth. What happened to him was sad and glorious. What do you mean? He sealed a beast inside of me. Naruto was starting to tear up. That's when Kurama calms down and looks at Naruto. When a blank stare, Kurama said, "Quiet, boy. Stop crying over the past. It's the past. This is the future. Now listen." Kurama starts speaking. The fourth Hokage only sealed me inside of you because a man in a mask attacks him. And he didn't have no one else. Because he can't ask anyone to seal a Biju inside their child. That means, yes, you're the son of the fourth. And he only made you the Jinchuriki, knowing your potential. And you will become the next Shinobi of the name of God. So that's why he sealed me inside of you, knowing that you can control me and use my chakra to the better intent. For right now, we're going to train you over your chakra control in your how to use ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu. Since you have my old man, this one, the Sage of Six Paths laughs. Since you have the Sage of Six Paths, you will have all Kekkei Genkais in the whole world. And all 5 natures. The wind, the fire, the earth, and lightning, and the water. Those are the natures that people will get, like all the sand. The sand will have like earth or any other abilities. It's rare to even get those type of abilities. The things that are stronger was going to be lightning and fire and water and wind. You will be trained on ninjutsu soon enough, my child. But first we are going to get into your smart skills, if you get what I'm putting down. You'll be reading a lot of books, learning about everything you need to know to become the next sage. The sage smiles, and Naruto smiles as well. So you think I can be Hokage with this power? Naruto says. And the sage chuckles at this, making Naruto's confused face go to a plump face that makes Naruto's mad and angry. Why are you laughing? Naruto says. This one will say smiles again and start giggling. Oh yes, my child. You'll become the next Sage of Six Paths. But if you want to become Hokage and protect your village, I will agree to that. But you agree to one thing. Don't come if you say if one of your families, if you love someone very dearly, and it was your wife or child, and they got killed, don't go for vengeance. Naruto looked at them, asking, why not? If someone's precious to me, don't they supposed to go for vengeance? Don't they supposed to use their power to kill the man who did such a thing to their child? What? This one, the man in front of him knows Naruto will be the greatest container of his power. Naruto looks at the sage and asks again. The sage nodded. Well, if you go for vengeance, your mind goes blank and dark. And when I mean dark, I mean sinister, like Kurama. You will be just like him, but Kurama is already dark. But vengeance is not the way of going for that. It's not the way to start. If you go for vengeance, you'll lose your sanity. All you would think about is killing that person who messed up your life and killed your favorite person that you loved and dearly cared for. But Naruto asks again, how can you make children? He said, kids. Where'd they come from? He said, confused. That's when the Sage of Six Paths had a slight blush on his face. Kurama was shocked what the kid had said. You will not be learning about that yet, Naruto. You will be teach about the birds and the bees later on in the future. But right now, we're gonna get to your training first, okay? Alright. For now, let's meditate. And gain your chakra and comet clues. For like a week, Naruto will be trained using his chakra. Naruto was using his chakra to use everything in his power to make sure he's okay. Since Naruto was using his chakra, Naruto was now learning how to control his chakra as a young infant. Since Naruto had Kurama's chakra, his chakra was so strong and potent that he would not be able to control it, and people can sense it around the world. Since Naruto was a Jinchuriki after all. This one, Kurama, they was teaching Naruto how to control chakra and how to walk on walls and water, which Naruto learned very fastly. He was smart from his age. The age of 9, Naruto was smart and knowing how to use tactics like the Naras. This one, Kurama now teaches him how to. They're still going on controlling his chakra because Naruto had some things that he would not have to use. In this, since Naruto has all Kekkei Genkai, and the wood releases just like a Kekkei Genkai using only water and earth. That means Naruto will be having that as well as the Genkai of the Sharingan. But in this, Naruto will not be using the Sharingan since he will unlock a powerful dojutsu from the young age. Not a really young age, if you ask me, from like adult years to something more powerful. But for fun, if you want me to let Naruto use the Byakugan in the Sharingan, go ahead, be my guest. Naruto will be trained by multiple people. Not multiple people, by Kurama and the sage. And the sage will be teaching Naruto about the past. He will be teaching him to learn quickly and gain knowledge. This is when the Hokage, Sarutobi, now came back home an hour later, and told Naruto when Naruto was in his mind humming. The Hokage looked at Naruto on the couch. He was just sitting crisscross and putting his in motion. He can sense Naruto's power, or chakra, and see if he's actually controlling it by humming. The Hokage was curious how Naruto learned this, but he knew Naruto was a prodigy among prodigies. Naruto opens his eyes, seeing the Hokage. "Gigi," he says. "Naruto, I have a surprise for you." "Gigi, what is it?" Naruto says, "You will be in the academy." "Yay, wait, why?" "I thought I was gonna get trained by you, Gigi." "You will, but I have Hokage's duties to tend to. I apologize. I can't train you." Naruto smiles and said it's okay. You do have to become Hokage to get trained. You have to learn everything about the nations, like everything about the sand, the earth, the nation, everything. You have to learn about their villagers, strength and weaknesses to become Hokage. You have to gain knowledge and go journeys around the whole world to know about the world itself. The Hokage was surprised. Naruto was this far in of a prodigy. He smiled again and said, "Great job, Naruto. So come with me. You're going to go talk to your new sensei." "Sensei? His name is Aruka. He will protect you." Naruto smiles. This one, they went to the academy. Everyone noticed a boy in blonde and with the Hokage. They were surprised who was that boy, and with the Hokage, Haruzen and Sarutobi. "Hello, I am Haruzen." "Hokage-sama, how you do? Who is he?" They asked for respect. "His name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I will be taking care of this child. He was my predecessor. He was the son of the heir clan, and he was now strong and a prodigy. So you can just call him Naruto Uzumaki Sarutobi." "Hey, little Sarutobi, how you doing?" "Please just call me Naruto," Naruto said with a smile. "I'm Mr. Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun, walk with me." The lady was now taking Naruto and talking to him, asking him what he likes and dislikes. He likes ramen when the first time he went to ramen. Flashback. A 5-year-old boy once asked Gigi, "What is ramen?" The Hokage was laughing. "Well, come on. I can take you to Ichiraku's, the favorite place where He's about to say father until he stops. He stops what he says. "Where I go as well." He smiled. Naruto went to Ichiraku, ate ramen, and that will be his addiction. He loved ramen. Naruto was a big fan of the ramen, so he wanted more. So Naruto wanted a little bit more than he can chew, which he can eat a lot of ramen, if you ask me. Naruto was now chewing and eating his ramen carefully, knowing that it was hot and everything. He was carefully eating it and finishing bowls after bowls after bowls. And the Hokage was looking at Naruto, how he chomping the ramen instantly. He's just like his mother, the Hokage said in his mind. The Hokage was now happy. He was just like his mother and father. They like ramen very much, so they come to Ichiraku. And a flashback. The lady said, "That's cool as well, Naruto-kun. We're here." They're at the door called Class 4. Class 4 with a number 4 at the end of it. They knocks on the door. A man answered. This man was having black spiky hair, tied in a ponytail. This man had a large gash around his nose that can see it was an injury in a Shinobi war. The man had a Chunin's vest, a t-shirt, and clothing around him. "Hello, I am Aruka Sensei. How do you do, miss? We have a new student, Aruka." He looks down and seeing a 9-year-old boy. This one he's seen behind him the Hokage-sama. This is Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki Sarutobi. He will have my last name from now on. And 2, he unlocks its true potential with a smile. Iruka knows about Naruto Uzumaki because he is the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. This when Naruto was smiling at Iruka. "Hey Iruka Sensei, I want to be big and strong just like Gigi." "Gigi?" He smiles and said, "Okay. Come in my class and you announce yourself, okay? Naruto-kun," he says. And Naruto smiles at this. "Yes, Sensei," he says. This one, the Hokage left and smiled. "Tell Naruto to be careful for what he says." This one, the class was loud and obnoxious, and no one get to speak. This one, Aruka Sensei was now using his loud ninja thingy. I don't know what kind of thing he was using because it was like a loud thing that he uses. And Naruto, if y'all get what I'm putting down, I really don't know what it's called. If you do, please put it in the comments. Thank you. Well, Naruto's now in the middle of the surface. Looking around nervous, but in his mind, Kurama and the Sage of Six Paths saying, "Don't get nervous, just stay what you do." "Hi, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm coming here as a ninja to become a great ninja just like Hokage Gigi. And I want to become Hokage and become the strongest of them all. That is my dream." Everyone laughed at him. "You can't be Hokage, stupid. No one can. You have to be stronger. You have to be strong. You have to gain that role. Dumbass." People was cursing. It was childs. Naruto was confused. What do dumbass means? This one, Kurama laughed out loud. "Oh my god, this is hilarious, father. Check it." "Kurama, don't laugh at this." "Hey, watch your mouth." This when Arika spoke. Sorry, Arika Sensei. The kid was part of one of the council members. He was a son of a council member. So he taught himself a few words that he learned while hearing his father speak. So he wants to say it out loud, thinking he's cool and all, but it's really not cool of swearing the words. Naruto was now looking at everyone and said, "My dream will be Hokage and become the strongest Shinobi ever lived." Time skip. A 12-year-old boy was now in the middle of the surface using his transformation jutsu. Taijutsu to ninjutsu to genjutsu. Naruto Uzumaki was getting trained by two of the strongest shinobis that will ever live. One is a beast and one is a god. Both Kurama and Hagoromo trained Naruto to the better extent of his ability. They keep training him until he learns how to use Hagoromo's full power. Hagoromo was smiling. So how better than this to go with Naruto? Well, Hagoromo now looks at Naruto, seeing how strong he is, and learning the Shadow Clone Jutsu. But Naruto is not stupid at all. Naruto passed his Genin exams, and he got stepped on or walked towards by the Chunin named Mizuki. Mizuki told Naruto about the Scroll of Sealing and how it had a lot of ninjutsu, and if you pass, you become right up to Chunin. Sasuke, Uchiha, and Kiba and Izaka failed, so they're sticking as Genin. Naruto heard about the Scroll of Sealing by the Hokage himself. This one, the Hokage smiles. This one, the Hokage. Oh, sorry. This one, Naruto was now stupid. He was acting stupid, saying, "Okay, I want to become Chunin already." Naruto took this as a dump. He knew that was fake, but he was going to go with the flow. So when Naruto going with the flow, he told the Hokage so what he has to do and to get a traitor out of their hands. The Hokage smiled and said, "Okay, so what is going to be your plan, Uzumaki?" "Well, I have to go with the flow." When the Hokage looks at Naruto, "Transformation Jutsu!" Naruto shouted, even blocking the Hokage's eyesight, seeing a hot, naked woman in front of her, blurring out three parts that people don't want to know about, which is not going to say to get demonetized, if you know what I mean. So, with that, if you want to know what they see, go to my second channel, and I'll explain there. But for now, I do not want to get demonetized on this one, so sorry. Naruto was showing using a weird technique that shows out a girl's, thingies, weird places, and everything. The Hokage got sent back by seeing the weird zones that Naruto was using to get the Hokages out of order. The Hokage passes out and from blood loss from his nose, while Naruto took the Scroll of Sealing and going to the area where Mizuki wants him to go to. Which he made it to the area, learned a couple of jutsus with the learning about a thing. But Naruto seen a weird place, blood seal. He asked what this is, and the Hagoromo said that was a blood seal. It's a seal that Hokage gets to make for a jutsu that from generation, whoever can open it, that means they're their blood. This was different. This seal was made from a powerful sealer. Hagoromo looked at Naruto in his mind, out of his eyes, and Naruto chanted blood on it, scraping it down, and it pops out a something. It pops out like a thing that comes. I really don't know. Give me a minute. Alright, it pops out a scroll. Naruto opened the scroll and it says the yellow flash of the hidden leaf. This is for my son if you're Hokage. Dear son, I love you very much. I'm sorry that me and your mother has to leave you behind with nothing to gain. I leave you with my condolences. I'll leave you with all our money, and I leave you with the house that we have. And don't forget, we love you dearly, my child. I leave you with the Hirishin, he said. And the story stops there. A kunai appears having a seal on it. This one, Naruto have to learn about seals and how to use the Hirishin. We see the Chunin named Mizuki appears, telling Naruto to give him the scroll. Naruto is going to give them the scroll, but he didn't. Haruka came out of nowhere telling Naruto, what you're doing with that secret scroll. Naruto explained Mizuki said he was going to give him a Chunin vest to become a Chunin. As in canon, Naruto was cut off and told by, do you want to know why the villagers hate you and Jonis despise you? The civilians don't know about Naruto's being a demon, a Jinchuriki, but the Chunins and Jonis know about it. Mizuki, that is forbidden. You will be killed and executed. Naruto was confused. He was acting dumb, knowing that he knows about the Jinchuriki Kurama. Why the Jonis despise you, and why the civilians look at you happily, but the Chunins and Jonis do not. That's because you are the nine-tailed beast. Naruto was fake crying, and then he looks up with a smile. Naruto said, I know that. Naruto was not stronger than a Chunin, of course. I will not make him that strong yet, of course. This is not how I roll in this storyline. Naruto was now looking and said, Shadow Clone no Bochinjutsu, which is Shadow Clone Jutsu. If you watch sub and dub, it's okay. Well, Naruto summons his Shadow Clones, 1,000 of them, and beating the living garbage out of Mizuki, making this man like a bloody mess, but not killed. This Naruto is not that strong, of course. Mizuki got returned to a cage and executed on the spot by an Anbu, killing him and burning the body. But the Anbu grabbed Naruto and took Haruka with her. They went to the Hokage's office explaining what happened and what Mizuki said. This one, the Hokage summoned all the, told every Anbu to leave and told Haruka, you can leave now. Naruto was still he was fake crying, saying, am I a monster? GG. This one, The Hokage says, "No, you're just a Jinchuriki. You're just a jailer of the Nine Tails. You're no monster. You're just a jailer." Naruto smiles. Should I tell him about you, Kurama?" Kurama says, "No, but you should tell him about my father." Which is the sage smiles and said, "Yes. I trust him very enough to learn about my existence." Naruto said, "Can we speak alone, Hokage-sama, or Hokage-Gigi?" The Hokage looked at him and said, "Yes." He wants to know how Naruto knew about the Anbu. But Naruto will explain very shortly. This when the Hokage removed the Anbus from the main location of Warrior Z. Naruto now said, "Ceiling tag on the ground. It blocks out sound and barriers, so no one can hear inside or even walk in there." Naruto made a high-level barrier, which is a seal. The Hokage was shocked, but kept condolences. "Hokage Gigi, I have to tell you something that's very important to me. I know who my parents are, and someone told me." That's when Hokage said, "Who told you?" "A man named as the Sage of Six Paths." The Hokage was confused of this. The only Sage of Six Paths was dead in a millennium. He's not alive no more, Naruto-kun. "Well, the man is alive and straightly in my brain. He's in my head and my mindscape. He was the one who trained me how to use these techniques, how to control my chakra and everything. Taijutsu to ninjutsu to genjutsu. He trusts you very much to talk to you, so he will be taking over right now. Hello, my fellow god of Shinobi." The Hokage was now confused. "Who are you again?" "I am the Sage of Six Paths." "Naruto Uzumaki is telling the truth. I'm training him. Because in the near future, he will become once a powerful asset for your village, and a Hokage as soon as possible." Though this when the Sages Express start talking about what will happen. The sage didn't go that far about the Akatsuki. He didn't know about the Akatsukis yet, so yes. But he was telling about what will happen and what happened 10 years ago. 13 years ago. This when the Hokage believes him and said, "Okay." Naruto came back and said, "Do you believe me now, Hokage Gigi?" The Hokage smiles and said, "You're not lying. You really know who your true parents were." With that being said, Naruto, your parents were stronger. So you be strong enough, I will have to tell everyone in the Leaf Village about them. But it's up to you. Do you want to tell them now, or do you want to wait a few years or a few months? Naruto smiles and he said he wants to wait. With that being said, I will be ending this video off here because it was an hour long. Hope you enjoyed the movie part 1 of this What If. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you're new. And if you do enjoy the video, let me drink some water. With that being said, I hope you like, share... hope you like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you're new. Comment down below if you're new. And if you want Naruto to become the Hokage early, I will probably try to do so. I will probably put a little bit of writing in there as well. But on the second part of the movie will be enjoyed by all of you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video because it took me a long time, an hour and 15 minutes and 11 seconds. Enjoy the video, like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you're new, and if you are, please enjoy. See you, everybody. Hope you enjoy this video.